Hello and welcome to the Toefl ITP preparation course. This is going to be unit number 6 related to WH connectors. Remember, this is an online course you can access 24/7. You can also have access to online lessons with me. I'll be there to listen to your questions like this student, and I will be able to help you through the process. Now, the unit for today is unit number 6. This is a unit related to WH connectors. And this is going to be divided into steps, two parts, two stages. First, I understand what you're about to study here is going to be a little mechanical at the beginning, a little routinary. But in my opinion, this is the best way you have to effectively find the correct choice. So I'm going to start talking about the WH connectors from the rules. Just rules. You're going to study the rules and you're going to answer later with me. So I would like you to take notes from what you're about to learn here, because I would like you to um, memorize them if possible. I would like you to be able to study them. The first one, the first set of rules we have here is the one related to what. So this is what. I'm going to just do it like this so you can see better. So this is going to be the first one again. So what has this set of formulas? First of all, you have what, but here it's in the middle. So you're going to please take notes of this. Subject, verb, what, and verb. Or subject, verb, what, subject, verb. Or what, verb and verb. Or what, subject, verb, and verb. You're going to please note that. Take it into account. Write it down because we're going to use it later. So this is the first one. We're going to continue with the other structure here, the other rules. So let's see. This is the second, and that is when. So remember, when it is in the middle, it should be like subject, verb, then when, then subject and verb. Then you have when, subject, verb, and verb. Please write it down for now. Then we have who, the connector who, which is used here in the middle, and the formula is subject, verb, who, verb, who, two verbs, or subject, who, verb, and verb. What we are going to do after we finish this description of the rules is start applying them to practical exercises. This is where. So the rule is subject, verb, where, subject, verb, or where, subject, verb, and verb. That's the way to use it. That's the way to understand it. This one is why. So we have subject, verb, why, subject, verb, or why, subject, verb, and verb. I hope you're writing them down. Then we have which. So we have subject, verb, which, verb, the first one. The second is subject, verb, which, subject, verb. The third one is subject, which, subject, verb, and verb. The fourth one here is going to be which plus verb and verb, two verbs. And the last one is going to be subject plus which plus verb plus verb. Then we jump into how. So how contains the formula of subject, verb, how, subject, verb. Then we have how plus subject, verb, and verb. Then we have if. So the formula for if is subject, verb, if, subject, verb. if plus subject plus verb plus verb. Then we have whenever. So the formula is subject verb, whenever, subject verb, or whenever, subject verb and verb. After this, we have whether. So the formula is subject verb, whether, subject verb, or whether, subject verb and verb. Then we have whom. And the formula is subject verb whom, subject verb, or subject whom, subject verb and verb. We have then whichever, and the formula is going to be subject verb whichever verb, or whichever plus verb plus verb. Apart from this, we have whatever. So subject verb whatever verb, or subject verb whatever plus subject plus verb. When whatever is in the first part of the sentence, it's going to be whatever plus subject plus verb plus verb, or whatever plus verb plus verb. This is the way to understand these rules, which I still say it's mechanical for now, but you'll see the magic in a few minutes. Whoever. Now we have whoever. This is the formula. So first is subject verb plus whoever plus verb. Then we have whoever plus verb plus verb. And last but not least, we have that. So the formula would be subject verb that subject verb. Subject that subject verb and verb. Subject that two verbs. And then here I have noticed something that we can also contribute. So here we have subject verb that subject verb, which is okay. But if you notice, this is the same as this one. So what if I just cut this to create a new rule? And it is going to be like this: that subject verb and verb. Okay, so after understanding and at least seeing how these formulas are applied, we need to put them into practice with exercises like this. So this is going to be the strategy. First, we're going to read quickly to try to find any linker. If I read quickly here, I'll notice that, okay, this is going to be my linker. How? Then I would like you to go back. Maybe you can check your linkers for how. You will notice that there is one that says subject, verb, how, subject, verb. And this is exactly what we need to transcribe into our sentence. So let's have an example here. This is going to be our subject. This is going to be our verb. And here I have prepositions. So I'm going to delete them, something you have learned, right, from previous lessons. Now, after I find them, I know that I have subject and verb. The connector, which is going to be how here. And then option B says the development of insects. I can eliminate this because we already know we can eliminate that. And this is going to be just a subject. I still need a verb. That's why B is not my choice. Option C contains subject, insects, and developed, the verb that I'm looking for. That's why that's my option. That is why I am choosing C as my option. We're going to continue. In this exercise, we can notice that a course syllabus is like this way. Maybe you remember a subject because they can start with an article. Then I have the connector. and a verb and a preposition. So my connector is what? I'm going to keep it. And a verb. And then I have a subject. So from here, you may remember, if you go back to your notes, that we might be needing a verb. It's in the linking in the word list we just studied. So this is my strategy to answer that. And I need to come back and find a verb in the answers. Option A is a false verb. Maybe you remember from previous lessons that this is a false verb. Everything is starting with infinitive. Option B has an adjective. Maybe you can also remember that ing is an adjective if it is not together with the verb to be. Option C is a verb, should clearly delineate. And option D has a preposition, so I can eliminate that. Meaning I can use option C as my answer. Then we continue. Okay. So, in this exercise, I hope you can understand that there is a comma and a preposition. If you have a sentence starting this way, it's an indicator of an appositive. From previous lessons, you might remember that if I have this strategy, then I'm going to need a subject and a verb. And of course, I have a linker, that, and I have another subject and another verb. So I'm going to focus here. I know that I have a rule with the word that. All I'm going to be looking for is a subject and a verb for now. It's going to be like this. A positive, subject, verb, connector, and subject, verb. This is something we just learned. Option A has a subject and a verb. Option B has only a subject, and this is a preposition. Option C has a preposition and an adjective. Option D has a subject, a connector, and a verb. But I just need a subject and a verb, meaning option A. And we continue. Now, in this exercise, we can notice that there are 3 linkers. I'm going to pay attention to the order of the sentence. So, this is going to be my subject. This is going to be my verb. And there's another verb here. So I have subject, verb, and verb. Then I have what? Then I have prepositions and more prepositions and more prepositions. So all I can do here is remember this rule by just saying that from all the options, I just need option C, because that is the one that best fits with the rules I have. Then there is this question. Now, in this exercise, I just found the connector if. That means, if you remember the rule, it is going to be subject, verb, if subject, verb. So here I have another appositive. This is going to be the first subject and the first verb. This is the connector. And here it could be a verb if I have the be verb with it. So you're going to look for the verb to be here. And the one I have is either D or B. I need a subject, which is something. And I need a verb, which is, which is why that's my answer. Something is vibrant brick color or gray. Okay, now in this exercise, I can tell that here is a linker, a connector. What? This the is the way to start a subject. This is a preposition. And here we have a verb. Now, in this first part, I have the speedometer, meaning the subject, and a preposition. I can eliminate this information. So I might be needing a verb, subject verb, what subject verb. You might remember that rule. Option A is a verb. Option B is a subject and a verb. This is a subject and this is a verb, which is why it is not what I'm looking for. Then I have another linker. I just have my linker. I don't need another linker. And this is an adjective. Then my answer is measures. And we jump into the next one. Here. In this exercise, we can see that I have found my linker, a verb here. Then you might remember this is the rule we can use from the group of rules you already have. The prosecutor and defense together. So the prosecutor and defense together. All I have here is a subject, a multiple subject, still a subject. Then I need a verb. The answers are here. The verb is decide. This is an adjective. This is a subject and a verb. And this is another subject, which is why our answer is decide. Okay, in this exercise, we can find these connectors. Maybe that is the only one that I can find here. And then here we have another connector. So let's see. No one is my subject. Knows is my verb. When is the connector. So I don't need this one. I'm going to use when to use this formula. And then maybe you remember this one from the previous explanation. The game is the subject. And this is a preposition. I can eliminate them. I'm going to be looking for the verb. This has another connector. This has a subject and a verb. This has a verb. And this has a false verb and a connector. I'm looking for the verb, just a verb, meaning option C was first played. And we continue. So, in this exercise, we have a subject. Here is the verb to vary. Then I have, this is going to be like a preposition. I might need this one. So I have a verb here. So with the connector, which I can use this formula. Subject, verb, which verb is one of the formulas we can use in here. And is, in fact, the one we are going to use. Okay. In this exercise, let's see what we find. Bobolinks is the subject. Take is the verb. To hide is a false verb. And or build is a verb. Remember, build, it's an irregular verb. So you're going to use build and build. And this is the form we use as ed, the third column, because this is an irregular verb. So I have a verb. I might need a linker. So this is going to be subject verb. I know the linker is going to be here, where. And if I go back and check it, this is going to be the rule I'm going to use. Subject verb, where, subject verb. I already have the verb. I need the subject. the subject is their nest. Option C has another verb, and I don't need that option. So I'm going to choose this one and continue. I hope you're understanding. Now, in this exercise, we can notice that this is going to be the subject. This is a preposition. This is the connector. So I might have something like this to organize. Holds is a verb. And then this is preposition. And if it is a preposition, I can eliminate the rest until I find another verb. And there are no verbs there. So subject, I'm going to need a verb to complete this rule. The verb, as you may already seen, is this option. The other ones have subject, verb, or connectors, which are just distractors. Okay. So in this exercise, I have the word of sound depends. Depends is a verb on whether it's the connector. So I'm going to write the word here. Whether air molecules is the subject, are vibrating is a verb. We already understand that this is a verb in the exam. Then here I may have a subject and verb, but I already have a subject. I mean a verb. I just need to go get a subject for the sentence. The first one has a subject and a verb. The second one has a preposition. The third one has the subject I'm looking for. The fourth one has a subject and a verb. And I don't need them in my answer. So I'm going to just do it like this and continue. Okay. In this exercise, we notice that here it says a buildup of certain gases in the atmosphere explains why this is the connector I'm looking for. And this could be a verb regarded. I just want to do this. Yes. So why plus a verb provided I have the verb to be. And before, of course, we have subject, preposition, preposition, and verb. Those are the ones that I'm going to extract. So all I need to check up here is a subject. The earth temperature is just a subject. Remember, this is not a subject. It will be this one. This is an adjective. Again, and still it's not working for me. Is the earth's temperature. That has a verb and a subject. The earth temperature is the subject and the verb. And this is the verb, the be verb, the to be here, the one I need with ing in order to form, in this case, ing. And this is going to be what I'm looking for. So I'm going to use it. The earth's temperature is increasing. And I'm going to choose this one. And then in this exercise, we notice that which could be the linker I'm looking for. So I go over the rules of the linkers, which. Then I'm going to go before. And this is going to be indeterminate, a preposition. I might need a subject and a verb. Then I have which. And then I have the verb here. Understanding, I could eliminate with this preposition. So subject, verb, which verb? Subject, verb. Subject, verb. Whether. Please just remember there's a difference between whether and weather. This is different, and this is going to be just a I'm going to just check out the misspell here. So it is not that word. This is a subject. This is a verb. This is going to be a subject plus a preposition, and false verb, and adjective. That's why none of them work for me. Okay, we continue. Okay, in this exercise, Um, earthworms is the subject and determine is the verb. Is dry is a verb. Then we have a preposition which also works as a connector. But I'm gonna be just paying attention to this part. Understanding I have if. So subject verb if subject verb. I already have one, two, and three. I just need this. If plus a subject. If plus the subject is what I have in option C in this exercise. If the ground is dry enough, then we can continue here. Okay, in this exercise, I have the archaeological sites, meaning the subject. Then I have a preposition and another preposition, and I finish here with a verb. So subject, verb, connector that, and then I have humans, which is another subject, meaning I need a verb. Understanding this is a preposition and I can eliminate this. I'm going to need a verb. Have lived is a verb. Living is an adjective. They have lived is a subject and a verb. And the life is just a subject. Subject, which is what I'm not looking for. I'm looking for a verb. Okay. Now, in this exercise, I have a subject, a preposition that I can eliminate. Here, it's a connector. So somehow I have this formula. Is needed is a verb. And then this is a false verb. And then I can just change, especially because I have prepositions and prepositions and prepositions. So I can eliminate this information. So I'm going to need a verb here. This is a subject and a verb. This is an adjective. This is a preposition. This is the verb I might be looking for. Refers is the only verb I have there. So that is my answer. Then we go back here. Now, in this exercise, mandrake and poppy extracts. This is a subject. This is not a verb because if it was, it would be third person, but this is plural. Then I have another subject and another verb here. And then this is for preposition I can eliminate. So subject, subject, verb. And what do we have here? We have what? So maybe we want to just write here to remember. And maybe this is the rule I'm looking for. Not another subject, but a verb. Subject, verb, what? Subject, verb. This is the subject. I'm going to need a verb and then what, which is the first option. This is the verb and this is what. This is just a connector. This is just a verb. And this is verb, what, verb. I just need the right order, which is why our answer is where, what. Now, in this exercise, we have a subject, and then lack of atmosphere explains is the verb and the connector. So I'll take him down here. Subject, verb, why. A large is another subject, and I have temperature, which is a preposition, between another preposition. I just need a verb. And then the first one has a subject and a verb. The second one is an adjective. The third one is the verb. The fourth one is just a connector. I'm just looking for the verb. Now, in this exercise, we can notice that Alfred Noble's, this is, if you have the apostrophe, that is going to be a possessive adjective. So that means this is an adjective. This is not a verb. It's a way to confuse the students. But we just want to remember the difference. So this is going to be an adjective. So what is the real subject and verb? I'm going to check them here. Now, outlining the wheel. The wheel, I just want you to know about that. The wheel. This is used for future. Maybe you know the future tenses with will and be going to. But this one particular here, particularly speaking, this is what you give to other people after you die. The will is something people receive after someone has died and has left possessions. And then this is going to be a different word. So, outlining the wheel, this is an adjective and a noun. The outline is another noun or subject. Outlined is an adjective, but here wheel is the subject and outline is the verb. Remember, in this case, wheel is not the grammatical explanation, it's not the grammatical representation of the future. It is just a document you leave to people when you die, specifying who receives which or what, depending on how you want this to be delivered. This is the subject, this is the verb, this is the connector, and this is the verb, which is why that's the answer I'm looking for. Okay, that's all for now. Remember, visit EnglishGain.com, study hard, prepare for your exam. I hope I can help. Bye bye.